guys, Samar on this side, back again with a new tutorial video. In this video, we are going to learn how to integrate Google Map to show your current location in your Flutter app. So let's start the video. So guys, in the last video, we see about the Google authentication in our Flutter app through the Firebase. In this video, for using the location management with show your current location, we have to install two packages from that pub.dev. So switch to the pub.dev, and in that pub.dev, the first package you have to install Google Maps Flutter. So for that, go to the installing part of it, and here in the installing part, copy the package name from here and come back to the project, open the prospect.yaml, and in the prospect.yaml under the dependencies section, what you have to do, we have to paste that. And one more thing before installing that package, we have to install that location package as well. I will tell you what the work of two different packages. So I just copy that location package from here and I paste it here, and we can cancel that and we can write Flutter pubget to install the packages in our Flutter app. So that Google Maps Flutter will be help you to show Google Map in your Flutter app, and location package is useful to getting your current locations, latitude and longitude. So for that package is very much useful. Okay, so here in the terminal you can see all of the packages that we done already installed successfully. Now we have to do one more thing here. Before writing anything in the configuration, we have to go to the Google Cloud Console at first. So here in that Google Cloud Console, you can do one thing. In the last two videos, we see about the authentication with email and password and Google. So you can open your console.cloud.google.com, that is Google Cloud Console. With that same email, you created project in Firebase associated with that email. Okay, in case you are seeing that video for the first time and you are not following that last two videos, you can do one more thing. If you have not created any project in the Google Cloud before or in the Firebase before, what you have to do, you have to click on here, and here from that new project you can create a new project here in the Google Cloud Console. Okay, or instead of that you can make the project from the Firebase as well, that also totally fine. Now what you have to do, when you open that associated email with your Firebase account that will be that already used in the last two videos of that tutorial series, what you have to do, first thing, when you come on here, your current project will be not selected by default. So what you have to do, you have to click on here, and here you have to search the project name. So if you follow last two videos, you know that our project for that authentication management is that learning auth. So here you have to search for that project name, and then the project name will be appear here, and you have to select here from that side. Okay, when you select that, you can see that you are working on learning auth. That means that current project is selected. After that, what you have to do, you have to come to that section. You have to come to that section quick access under API and services. When you click on that, so here you have to now click on that enable APIs and services. Okay, when you click on that enable APIs and services, that will be show you some list of APIs. So you have to first choose that Maps SDK for Android, and you have to click on that enable button. So that will be enable the service of Map SDK for Android in your current project, that is learning auth. Okay, and that will be taking the update for that each enable. It will take time. You can, if you click on that one, you can see enable service Map Android backend Google APIs.com. So that service is already enabled. Now what we have to do, that will be try to redirect you in the free trial of the sign up page. You don't need to sign up at that point of time. So what you have to do, you can come back here. So you can come back at the home page, because no need to sign up, or you don't have to pay anything for using their services. So what you can do, you can click on that Google Cloud. You will come here at that page, and here in the quick service you have to click on that API and services again, and same way click on that enable API and services. And here now, instead of that Map SDK.Android that is already enabled, we have to click on that Map SDK for iOS. Okay, now in the same way you have to click on that enable button to enable the services for the Map SDK for iOS, so that you can add Google Map in the iOS app as well. Okay, now if you click on that one here, you can see that enable service Map iOS backend. So that is already getting activated. It will try to redirect you to the billing page. So you don't have to do any of the billing, or don't have to pay anything. When that will be try to redirect you to the sign up or billing page, you just come back to the home screen with that back, and you can click on that Google Cloud and that will become here. Okay, now you can choose that API and services again. Now we don't have to enable any of the API as of now. We can have to do one thing. You have to click on that, and here in that API and services, click on that credentials. Okay, here in the credentials part, you have to add a new API key so that you can use that to services. So what you have to do, you have to click on that create credentials button, and here you have to click on that API key, and that a new API key will be generated for you, okay, by the Google. Now that API key is showing here, so we will going to use that API key in our project to show the map. That API key is the confidential, so that so that's why it is coming as blurred in your in the videos. So make sure that confidential key, so you don't have to expose to the public, so keep it secret. Now you have to copy that key, and so the API key is created here successfully, and we also copied that API key from that dialog. Now we can do one more thing. I can store that API key here as well. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to come back to the Google Maps Flutter page and come to the readme section of it, and in the readme section it is telling that in the Android app level build.gradle minimum SDK is 20. Our minimum SDK is greater than 20, so we don't have to worry about it. So if I show you here under that app level build.gradle, here you can see that mean SDK version is 24, so that's totally fine for us. And now we have to add that metadata in the Android manifest.xml. So I copy it from here, and here in that Android app source man Android manifest.xml, under that activity you can add the map key here. So we can add that command. Now here instead of your key here, you have to paste the copied key from the dialog of Google Cloud Console. So I pasted the API key that we copied from Google Cloud Console. Now we can close that Android manifest.xml. Okay, and we have to do one more thing here. If you come here at the documentation, you can see that in that iOS, in that app delegate.swift, we have to import that Google Maps, and we have to add the key here. So first come to the just fold it all, and in the iOS folder under that runner, come to the app delegate.swift, and in the app delegate.swift first import that Google Maps, and here we have to add that GMS services.provide API key, and here your API key. So here I just paste the line here, and instead of your API key I have to provide the API key we copied from the Google Cloud Console. So here I pasted the API key we copied from the Google Cloud Console. Okay, now we can close that, and now as we install the packages, and let's see what else is remaining here. So here nothing is remaining, but in the location package there is something is remaining. In the location package there is some permission you have to add, so that too permission is needed, but other than that there is many other permissions. So what you have to do, you have to come to the Android app source main Android manifest.xml, and here you have to do one more thing. You have to add the permission here. Okay, so you have to add the two permission here, foreground service and access background location. And one more thing, you have to add the internet permission. In the last two videos we done Google authentication, email and password authentication, but we forget to add the internet permission. It's working because that all the things in the debug mode. So if that app is not work after making API key or AAB, so you just add here the internet permission, then that app will be work in the production mode. Okay, so I forget that adding of internet permission, so we have to add internet permission here. So we here added the internet permission. Beside the internet permission, we have to add another two permission that is very much necessary for getting the location from our physical device. So we need to add two permission extra here, that is access file location, access course location, and that's it. Okay, and if you come here for the iOS, you can see there is some location is needed. So that location is when that is in background, and that will be when the user location and information when that is in the background. So we have to add that. Actually it is saying that is depreciated, so you have to use that permission when location always and when uses. So we copy that from here, and we have to come to the iOS and info.list folder, and that info.list folder we have to make a key of it, and I paste that key and I close that key tab, and here in the string we have to provide why we want to use that permission. Here I write a dummy description why we want to use that permission. So here I provide a dummy description for the tutorial purpose. In the production we will provide a solid description about that, so we can close that, and in the Android manifest.xml we have to close it. Now if we come here, there is there is UI background mode is here for the adding of info.please, but that for the background location. We don't access background location as of now, so we don't have to add anything of that. And now what we have to do, as our packages is already getting installed from the prospect.yaml, we have to close all of the files. We can run the project from the terminal. So for running the project, what we have to run, we have to run our favorite command flutter run, so that our project will be getting run, because that's the old project you see in the last video. So that will take a few times, because download the Gradle and build that Gradle will take a very much long time. So stay patient for that, and let's wait for to getting it run. So guys, as you can see, our app is started now, and what you have to do, under that library folder we have to make a new folder name as map, and under that map folder we have to make a new file name as so Google Map, because we want to show that Google Map from our different screens. So under that so Google Map we will show the map. So how can we show that? For that we have to import our favorite package material.dart, because we are going to make a stateful widget for that, and here I write Google Map screen. Okay, now what we have to do, under that Google Map screen, first thing first we have to wrap it with the scaffold, and here what we have to do, background color obviously having the white, because that will be clear, and having the body of container, and having the width of it, media query dot of context dot size dot width. Now here we have to just show the Google Map. How can we do that? Before for that we have to import our favorite package, that is Google Map flutter.dart, so that will help us to show Google Map. Now we have to make a child here at first. Now here in the child, what we have to write here, we have to write here Google Map, and here in that Google Map what we have to do, we have to first provide what type of Google Map we want to use, because you know when you open Google Map app in your phone there is different kind of map, so we have to provide the map type. So here I provide that map type dot hybrid. Okay, so that will show the hybrid map. Now we have to provide my location enabled. Yes, my location should be enabled there, and here also my location button enabled. Yes, that also should be enabled. We have to provide the initial camera position, so here we provide camera position, and here also the target. We have to provide the target here, so that's why we have to write here latitude longitude, because as I said, for the current location of that physical device we have to provide the latitude or longitude to get your current location. So we have to use that latitude and longitude, and here we have to provide the latitude and longitude. We will take that variable in different way, and after that we have to provide a zoom, in how much zoom you want to show in that map. Okay, so here I provide a random zooming of it, so that's a significant zoom to show you here. Okay, now one more thing, here we have to provide that latitude and longitude, so we have to take that latitude and longitude as a required optional parameter from that stateful widget. So here I write double, so here I make required optional parameter of that latitude and also for that longitude. Now we have to provide that latitude and longitude here, so we have to write here widget dot latitude, widget dot longitude. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to provide some kind of markers here. So what is markers? Just like when in the app you open that and you click on my location button, you saw that a red marker is coming there, and that is showing your current position. Okay, so for that we have to provide the marker. Here we have to write markers, and here you have to give that map sign, and here you have to write marker. Okay, so here in that marker what you have to do, we have to mandatorily pass that marker ID. So here we have to provide the marker ID, so here I write marker ID, and we have to write here locate as well, and we also make it constant here because it is hard coded. Here we have to provide that jet index, that is in the 3D how much index it will be show. So we provide that jet index 1, so that will be show in the 3D. So here we have to write position, so position will be having the type of latitude and longitude, so we have to provide widget dot latitude and also widget dot longitude. Okay, here we have to provide draggable true, so that in the map you can drag the position or drag that marker from one location to the other location, so that can be draggable. So we have to provide that on drag end, just like when the drag is complete at what position, so in that position what happened, we can maintain that. So we don't have to hard code that in that way. So we can write one more thing here. We can provide here final void callback and on drag end. So here I have to provide that required optional things, so on drag end. So what we have to do here, we have to write here widget dot on drag end. So there is some error is coming because that will be function of latitude and longitude. So I just copy that return type from here, or that parameter from here. Okay, so now the error is fixed, the screen is made totally. Okay, now what we have to do, now we have to make a button here just below of sign out from Google. When we click on that button, the location, from that location package we will take the current user location of latitude and longitude, and we have to pass it in that method. And we also pass that method of on drag end, that's like when we drag off that marker of a particular position in the map, what happened. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to come back to the main screen, and in the main screen what we have to do, come to that column where that button is exist there. So yeah, now we can make a piece of it, and here I also write a common button, and that common button will be so open Google Map, and that Google Map will be open with your device current location. So for that we have to make another method here. So we have to provide the method name so position in Google Map, make a method at the bottom of that class, and here we have to do the further work. Here in this file what we have to do, we have to import the package name as location at the top of it. So here I write import location dot. So location dot is imported here. Just come at the bottom of that class where we make a new method here, and here what we have to do, we have to first make the object of that location constructor. So okay, now we have to check if location dot service enabled, just like in many of the phone the location service is not enabled by default by the user. So we have to check if the location is enabled or not. So if the location is not enabled, so what we have to do, we can just wrap it with the braces. So yeah, so if the location permission is not enabled, what we have to do, we have to show us scaffold messenger message. So we just copy it here and we have to paste it here, and after that obviously we have to return from here. So here we have to write location service not enabled. Okay, now we have to make it constant because it is hard coded. So what happened in many of the phone, location permission will be getting when the app is opening. So we have to check if that permission is given by default by the user in the previous or not. So we don't have to take the permission again. So here I write location dot has permission equals to permission status dot granted. So if the permission status is not granted, what we have to do, that will be await of type because it is a future. So if the permission is not granted, what we have to do, we have to take the location permission here. So we have to take location dot request permission, that will be a asynchronous process. I write here await, and that will be return permission status. So here I write location permission status. Now here what we have to write, if location permission status equals to permission status dot granted, that means permission is given successfully, or if that location permission is not granted after requesting for the location, so we have to show the snap bar here. So we have to write, now we have to make it constant because the message is hard coded. Okay, now okay, so after that, if that location permission is not granted and all of the message is showing here, we have to return from here as well, because after requesting the permission, if the user not granted the permission, we have to return from here, we don't have the permission for the proceed further. Okay, now what we have to do, if user given all the permission and all the things is going fine, we have to write location dot get location. It will return you a future of location data. So here I write final location data, and from here we will get the latitude and longitude. So here we can call dot of context dot push, and here material page route, and here Google map screen. Here the latitude location data dot latitude, longitude location data dot longitude, and okay, because that will be give you a nullable value, so we have to make it null safe. So here I write in that way, and here also in that way, and here we have to make the method when the drag of that marker in that Google map will end. So here what we have to do, instead of writing on drag method here, we can remove it from here because we can't maintain the state from here actually. Here if I come here, we don't have to provide that on drag end as of now, and we can remove it from here. And what we have to do, instead of writing it here and here, I just here make two double parameter, just like latitude and here also longitude. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to make the init state, and from that we have to call initialize method. So where in that initialize method we will do, so latitude and longitude by default value is 0.0, we don't want to make it nullable. So here we have to provide that initialized method, and here in the initialize method we have to write latitude equals to visit dot latitude, so visit dot latitude, and here the longitude will be visit dot longitude. Okay, now we have to make that state updation because that is also necessary here as of now. And here we don't have to use that visit or latitude or visit or longitude, we have to use that underscore latitude and longitude of local variable because we have to manage the state with that variable as well. So here I write latitude and longitude, and I just copy that stuff here, and here we also copy paste it here. Okay, when that will be end, what we should do here, that will be return the drag ended latitude and longitude. So here what we should do, we have to write latitude equal to, okay, we have to write latitude longitude dot latitude, that's really fine. So having the longitude of length and the longitude, and after that we have to update the state so that latest draft ended value will be shown here in the latitude and longitude parameter, that will be shown there. Okay, now I think all the things is getting fine, so we make a hot restart for that. Now as you can see, as the app is hot restarted, there is one new button opening Google Map is arriving. Now if we click on that button, that telling us to give the permission of location, so here I select only using the app, and when I select on that, what happened later, that will redirect to the new screen, and here in that screen you can see that map is arriving here. Okay, so that map is opening in the second screen, and this is showing my current location. Okay, so in that way you can see your current location in the Google Map. And here if I drag and drop here, just like if I want to make it from the physical device, so here in that physical device I can drag and drop. So when that drag and drop ended, so that I am dragging, when just like I want to drop or drag in here. Okay, so when I just end the drag here, so that method is responsible for that on drag end. So we write here in that way, so that's the draggable end position, and that's my current location is showing. So in that way you can show your current location in Google Map. So that's all for today. Hope you love this video. If you love this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. The next video of the tutorial is coming very soon. Have a nice day. Bye.